Kwanza mjue mimi niliitwa watermelon. Kwa nilikuwa nasema there's something we need to do. Sasa kila mtu amekuja kukubaliana na Kalonzo. Munipigie makofi kwa sababu that is the truth.
The right to information is a constitutional right under Article 35, and the Communications Authority is quoting Articles 33 and 34, and we must remind them that those articles are very clear that the freedom of the press is guaranteed. It cannot therefore be taken arbitrarily under whatever circumstances without a proper consultation on particularly the issue of content. So, as my brother said, we...
Don't take my picture, you. You can't do that.
You're just walking.
Bring that camera, you can't. You just come here for my picture to be taken.
You're just walking.
Just tell him that. Give him that. Produce that series. I heard that you're looking for...
This is my wife, Lucy, and I want to state something that I've wanted you to hold dear and permanently in your heart. You know, and I know, and everybody else knows that I'm married and I have only one wife. And everyone in Kenya knows it. But the media keeps repeating about my having another wife or wives. I want to make it very clear that I have only one dear wife, Lucy, who's here, and I do not
have to do their work. Right? You know what has happened since last week. Na mambo ambayo ilikuwa huko ni mambo ya state security. If you want to rattle a snake, you must be prepared to be bitten by it. So, please English.
Nataka leo mniambie ya kwamba yale ambaye tunasoma ni ya ukweli au ni ya uongo? Ni ya uongo. Yale ambaye tunasoma ni ya upuzi. Kwa hivyo vile nilisema ya kwamba gazeti ni ya kufunga nyama ni sawa. Tuendelee namna hiyo. Basi sawa sawa, tuendelee.
Kutoka leo hata sio kesho, idara yote ya serikali nitaona imeweka advertisement kwa nation media. Ujihesabu kwa nyumbani.
I want to assure you, the nation newspapers, I don't want, whereas I agree with Moses Kuria that you have become rogue and you are part of the Azimio brigade of trying to bring down the government. Ours is to call you out. When you go overboard, we must tell you on the face. That is a strategy.
We must defend the free media. We must defend their right to criticize, to say whatever it is that they want to say, even to write propaganda, even to say the wrong things, even to write falsehood. You know, we must defend that right. But we must also defend the right of those who hold the media to account or who call out the media when the media goes rogue. We must also defend the right of people like Moses Kuria to speak their mind. The same way, we are defending the media to say all the things they want, including the wrong ones, right? And I saw one journalist saying the president should defend us from Moses Kuria. That's fine. I will do my bit. But I want to ask them, so who is going to defend me from rogue media? Because I go through hell all the time.
So nyinyi watu ya magazeti, kama mnangojea hii serikali ya William Ruto isabaratike, you will wait for a long time. I've even them seeing, because I had a meeting on Sunday with our security chiefs, and Professor Kindiki, we had sent him to North Rift to deal with the bandit, and he was not able to come to meeting. This same media trying to create a narrative that there is a problem. Nyinyi watu ya Azimio mwachana na sisi. Mungoje tuonane na nyinyi 2027. You join that Azimio brigade and your fellows. Tukutane kwa debe. Na msitusie sisi woga. You wrote all headlines against us. You demeaned President William Ruto. You called him a thief. You wrote anything bad you can never write about anybody. But the people of Kenya ignored you and elected him as president. The same way you are writing and glorifying violence and then trying to play victim, the people of Kenya will once more ignore you.
I think you and the people of Kenya have heard me. Let me thank all of you for giving me this time, and I appreciate the media for your role to inform the people of Kenya, to educate them, to entertain them, and keep them abreast with what is going on. I want to thank you for your coverage of the short public participation on this impeachment motion, because you exposed it for what it was, and your video clips are very useful for us as we argue in courts of law. You guys are wonderful. You are good people. No wonder you are called the fourth estate. I don't know where we would go in this country without you. We would have so much impunity. We would go back to dictatorship without the media.
The biggest problem with live broadcasting, having watched a number of them media stations yesterday, is the idea that media becomes the center of mobilization for some of these protesters. In fact, most of the media houses are working very hard during the onset of protest, telling people, oh yeah, wengine wamekuja, sasa tayari ndio hawa. They interviewing people in the street and tell them, what do you tell those who are still at home? You see, they are participating, directly in mobilizing people to come. But what was even of greater concern to me is some of the media stations whose their job was directing the protesters. And they are saying, oh, now they are in Thika Road. As soon as they converge with the ones in Kiambu Road, the possibility is that they will pass through Museum and State House will be very near. You see, that is really very irresponsible journalism. Of course, the gentleman from Standard knows that Standard now has stopped being a newspaper. The headlines for the last 2 months or 3 months have always been about security and insulting people without resorting at one instance to ask for feedback from anybody, not even any person. Now they have these interesting headlines that pass judgment on the Inspector General of Police, the Minister, the President. Of course, the President lives on their headline. I understand the desire and the tough economic times for newspapers to sell. But that cannot happen at the expense of our country. And this